A tornado was coming. So I told my daughter to play outside. I know how that sounds, but let me explain. That day, the sirens started blaring just after lunch. I was packing boxes in our tiny duplex, trying to get ahead of our upcoming move. My 8-year-old Sophie was pacing in the living room, chewing her nails, whispering to her stuffed bunny. She's always been anxious. Storms make her freeze. Every lightning flash turns her into a statue. But this day was different. I had to break the pattern. The weather app flashed red. Neighbors were rushing inside, and Sophie was crying under the table. That's when I crouched down and said something wild. "Let's go outside." She blinked at me like I'd lost my mind. "But the sirens," she whimpered. "I know," I said, "but you've always wanted to fly a kite, right?" Her brow furrowed. "But it's dangerous." I looked her in the eyes and said, "Only if we stop living every time we're scared." Truth is, I was watching the storm's path online. It wasn't heading directly toward us. I had a tight window, maybe 20 minutes before we'd need to shelter. But I saw my daughter drowning in fear long before the wind could ever touch her. So we grabbed her little rainbow kite from the closet, ran to the field across the street, and let it fly. The sky was dark, yes, but the wind was perfect. The kite soared higher than I thought it could. Sophie started laughing, really laughing, the kind of laugh that shakes her shoulders and makes her forget her fears. I kept checking the clouds. They were moving fast, but not swirling. The tornado was still 30 miles out and moving northeast. We were safe for now. "Mommy, look!" she shouted. "It's flying like it's not scared of anything." I looked at that thin string in her hand and thought, she's not talking about the kite anymore. 5 minutes later, I said, "Okay, time to head back. Grab Mr. Bunny." She didn't resist. Inside the house, we went straight to the bathroom and got into the tub with the mattress over us, just like we'd practiced. But this time, she wasn't trembling. She was humming a song I hadn't heard in years. Something from when she was little. The tornado never touched down near us. It skipped our town entirely. But that's not what mattered. What mattered was that my daughter learned something that day. That courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing joy in the middle of it. Later that night, after the winds died down, Sophie came into my room dragging her blanket behind her. "Mommy," she said, "can we fly the kite again tomorrow? Even if there's no storm?" I nodded, smiling, especially if there's no storm. The next day, the sun came out and everything looked brand new. Sophie ran outside without hesitation, barefoot on wet grass, rainbow kite in hand. For the first time in weeks, she didn't ask if the weather was safe. She just lived. I took a photo of her that morning, her head thrown back, eyes closed, string in hand, laughing into the sky. I printed it out and taped it on our fridge. Under it, I wrote, "Let the storm come. I'm flying anyway." A few weeks later, Sophie's teacher called me after school. She told me Sophie had spoken up during a safety drill when another student got scared. She'd said, "It's okay to be scared, but we don't stop living because of it." My mom taught me that. The teacher said it stopped the whole room for a second. Even the adults were quiet. I sat in my car and cried for 5 full minutes, not because of the tornado, but because my daughter had found her strength and was passing it on. And maybe one day, when I'm long gone, she'll tell her own kids to run outside and fly their kite when the storm rolls in, because now she knows joy is an act of defiance, and courage is contagious.